Hello, 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 hello. I am here. Y'all have to disregard my eyes. I know they're very red. I'm very tired. I've been under the weather for a few days now. But I had to talk to you guys. It's also really, well, it's kind of late. It's not so late. But it is, I think, 10:40 now. And I want to talk to you guys. I said I was going to wait until the morning time to post, but I think that I have to do this right now. Um, I wanted to um, talk a little bit about knowing who you are. Um, a lot of talk that I do is off personal experiences, but um, these talks are to encourage and to give advice to people that may need it. I don't know. Just don't pay attention to my eyes because they're probably everywhere. But here we go. Um, talking about who you are. That is a very, 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 very good question. Do you know who you are? Um, a lot of times people think they know who they are, but do you truly know who you are? Um, oftentimes, people go through things and they experience things in their lives that are not so good things, and it causes them to go in other directions, um, being a part of things that they feel like makes them feel like that they know who they are because it makes them feel good, or they feel wanted or accepted or liked or loved. It's a certain type of feeling that they go off of. And when they get that feeling, they go, oh, this is me. This is me. This is it. I found it. But that is a real question. Do you know who you are? Um, do I know who I am? Um, I think people are searching every day, trying to figure out who they are. And for a long time, I wondered, if I would ever find who I was. For a long time, like I said, I'll introduce myself piece by piece. With every video that I do post, I'll give you a little bit of me every time. And for starters, the makings of me. Um, I was born to a 13-year-old girl 33 years ago, and that in itself is a trial that I had before I was even um, old enough to know about knowing who I am. Just being born to a girl at the age of 13 already put me in a situation of knowing who I was, because I I wasn't born to a woman. I was born to a little girl, and that girl couldn't teach me anything about who I was and self-love and all that type of stuff. The things that you're supposed to get at home, the things that you're supposed to get, from a loving, caring family, someone that wants you to know that you are all of these things, and get that from home and don't have to go and get that from anywhere else. I didn't start off with that. I didn't have that chance. But um, it was a question that I asked myself so many times, for years, I asked myself that, um, you know, who am I? Because I literally didn't know who I was. And also, set aside from not having a mother, like I said, when I was born, my grandmother, she stepped in and she did everything because, like I said, I was born to a little girl, and I didn't really have a father. My father, I knew who he was, but he wasn't who he was supposed to be in my life. And like I said, that again just put me in a place where I was struggling to figure out who I am. And was I told that I was somebody? No, I was never told that. I was never told that I was beautiful, or you didn't have. I wasn't raised in your typical household where there was a mother and a father, sisters and brothers. Man, I had it rough. When I tell you I had it rough, I had it rough. And all this stuff I had to learn along the way. I had to teach myself, that I was somebody and I was beautiful because I was told that I wasn't beautiful. I was told that I wasn't worth anything, and I was treated that way. And it was just something that I had to understand. I had to see about myself is that I was all these things because, I'm like I said, I'm smart, loving, caring, all of the above. I might not be what people think that beautiful is. They sex a lot of things up now. They think that because if it's sexy, you know what I'm saying. It's just a lot of worldly things. The world has its definition of beauty, but your definition of beauty should be something a whole nother difference. It should just be being you. But to each his own. That's just a battle against almost the entire world. But if you don't have that, and that's where that self-love comes in. If you don't have that self-love, then you'll believe that you have to be what you see on TV. You have to be all of this stuff that they're selling, which is pretty much they're selling sex all over. And you'll think that you'll have to be this in order to say that you're beautiful, or just to fit in. And you know what? I'm so glad. I thank God I've never been a person that tries to fit in with everybody. I've always been satisfied with just knowing that I'm me, and if that's what people are going to get, they're going to get me. And when they get me, they'll definitely get a queen. They'll get somebody that knows exactly what she's talking about, a very confident person. And, a lot of times being confident, man, sometimes it's good, but it sucks sometimes because you'll get people who's intimidated by your confidence, and they don't like that. They might not have what you have, and guess what? They're gonna do everything in their power to, beat you down, or try to make you feel that you're less than. And trust me, I deal with it all the time. Some of the closest people to me, some of the people that I love so much, they do me like that. And you'll probably never get away from that. But you have to be strong enough and confident in yourself to know that, hey, I'm not what people say about me. And and that all ties together. Self-worth, all that ties together with understanding who you are. And you might not learn that right away. But sometimes it takes people longer than others to figure out who they are. People are trying to figure out who they are all the time. But I'm just grateful that I'm not happy about what I've been through in my life, but I'm glad that I did get a chance to experience some of those things, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be able to be the strong woman that I am right now, and be able to look in the mirror and see that I am beautiful, and not just on the outside, and on the inside as well. Man, what's on the inside counts so much. It counts more than really what's on the outside. But in this world that we live in, especially with all the hypnotizing they got going on, I call it brainwashing, because everything you see on TV, all this love and hip hop. I know everybody like that, but all this stuff is just brainwashing. It's telling our young, beautiful little girls at a early age that they have to be like this. This is what you have to be like to be beautiful, and to be accepted and things like that. Man, it's a bunch of junk. I don't care what nobody say, a bunch of garbage, but this is what people like. People feeding into that. I'm the type of person that I stay true to myself. So, you know, man, them lips glossy. I wasn't about to get on here with these dry lips though, but back to the topic at hand. I just feel so compelled to get on here and to talk about that. A lot of people don't want to give you the real, but I'm gonna always give you that because that's me. I'm real, and people don't like real, but that's me. I'm always gonna give you that. Whether people like it or not, because I feel like I do you more good giving you the truth than I do feeding you a bunch of lies, something that's going to make you feel good momentarily, than to tell you the truth. I mean, a friend of mine, he always say this, you nice and all that type of stuff, and they don't mean nothing, but now I'm real. You know what I'm saying? I'm real. And that's what people, they don't appreciate that at the moment because they got so many issues of their own that they trying to figure out themselves. And people get mad at you for being confident, for already, being proud of the things that you already overcome. And those type of people, you don't need those type of people around you because if they not bringing the positive energy, you don't really need them around because you never know what the hidden agenda is. From them, you never know what it is that they might have against you. They might be plotting against you. Everybody don't want to see you happy. Everybody don't want to see you happy. People don't congratulate you when it's time to congratulate you. Now, I'm not saying everybody does that, but I mean, I come from a type of a race of people that, just simply really don't want to see each other do well. They want to be doing better than you, and they want to be on top, and they believe in that, with everything in them by any means necessary. And you know what? I feel like if we can't come together and be good together, man, what's the point of, our ancestors suffering the way they did all those years, and then here we are still, we at each other's throats, we stepping on each other's toes and stepping on each other's heads, trying to get to the top, not realizing, you doing a whole lot and you're not even being true to yourself. That is not even you. You're doing what everybody else is doing pretty much to be successful. And then at the end of the day, it's not you. It's a whole lot you got to keep up with just to do that. And I just, it's too much. It's too much. When you can just be yourself, you already an amazing race of people. Why do you have to be so extra? I don't get that. But, I mean, I'm here to empower you if you lost. And listen to my voice, man. Listen to my voice. I'm a person that knows I have been through so much. I can write 3 or 4 books about my life, period. And I mean it. Like I started off saying, I hadn't said not much at all. I have so much in my head. You don't understand. I could be here all day. You know what I'm saying? I have experienced so many things. And as a survivor of sexual and verbal abuse, man, I got so much for you, man. I can tell you some things and I can give you some advice. But that's all I can do. That's all I can do. It's up to you. Like a friend of mine, he always say, and I hear that voice ringing in my head all the time. He said, the choice is yours. And he said a real thing. And I tell him, I be like, sometimes I think about what you say, and the things that you say, they kind of hang around in my mind. And he'd be like, the choice is yours, it's there for you to, you can make the best decisions. You can find out who you are. You ain't got to be doing everything that other people's doing just to try to fit in, to try to say, this is me. And I have met people like that to say, this is me, nah, this is what I'm gonna do, this is me right here. But I mean, is that really you though? If it's really you, then I'm glad. But if it's not you, keep on going, keep on searching, and keep on doing, the necessary things you need to do until you can find yourself. I've had people to call me fake, you know. Some people that I really would never expect it to come from. I mean, people that I've really been there for, encouraging, just going above and beyond just to make sure that this person, is in a good space in their head, to kind of save themselves from themselves. But I've been called fake. I get verbal abuse on like a daily basis by this one person, and and it's just something. I say it's the God in me. I always do. I say it's the God in me that keeps me on the straight path of doing what I'm doing right now. I mean, and not even be bothered. I think about it sometimes and I be like, really? You know what I'm saying? This is a person that I see at his lowest, and continues to try to pull me down and try to get me to feel some type of way. But it's the God in me that keeps me, on a positive mind state. And I mean, just, I don't know. God is amazing. I'm telling you, God is amazing. And the verbal abuse is, man, off the charts. But, I still find it in my heart to still be able to communicate with this person, give him good advice and just offer my ear and lend the time, because sometimes that's all people be needing. People have went off track and not being able to be themselves or find themselves because they never had the opportunity just to have somebody to sincerely listen to them, somebody to sincerely talk to them and listen to them and help them get through, just to sift through some of the things in their heads. Because if you think about it, if you never talk to anybody, things just pile up and pile up and pile up, and guess what? You're trying this and you're trying that, and if you just cover things up, nothing gets healed. Like, if you never address anything, you never talk and get things off your chest, nothing ever gets healed. So you're never going to get healed you got to take a chance and trust somebody. And let's just hope when you do trust somebody, besides the good Lord, because God is always there. He's always there. He's never left us. Don't cost us a penny just to, just open your mouth up and talk to God and tell him how you feel, what you want out of your life. And I always say, people always try to ask for what it is that they can't have or is not for them. But what I want to say to you, I'll give you a word of advice when it comes to praying, especially when you're trying to be who it is that God has set you on this earth to be. Then you ask God, if it's in your will, Lord, whatever is in your will, let it be there for my life. And don't just go to him and say, God, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. It's better off for you to just say, God, whatever it is in your will for me, that's what I want. And, I tell people this, and, sometimes people don't be wanting to hear it, but it be the things that you want the most is the things that are not for you. The things that you can't have, the lifestyle that is not for you. So it's better to just tell God, I'm willing. Just come in and show out in my life. And you got to show out for him too, because it's just not a one-way street. God wake you up every day. He don't have to do it. He don't have to do it. It don't cost you one penny to get up and say, God, thank you. If you're not doing it, it don't cost you one penny because he don't have to do it. What if God told us, and then that's the thing. People always think, I can do this, I can do that, I can mess up as many times as I want to. God is a forgiving God, and he gonna forgive me anyway. Yes, he is a forgiving God, but you just can't take his forgiveness and his grace for granted, thinking that he'll always get you out of something. because he already paid for our sins and everything. You know, when he died on the cross and shed that blood, he already did that. So what he needs from you, he needs to see something from you. He's already did what he needs to do. So, you know, I just say I always keep God in the middle of everything you're doing. That's how you really gonna see some progress. But, you know, I can talk. I don't want to get off subject, but you know, I mean, God, you got to keep him in it though. You know, if you want to see some progress, you got to keep him in it. So, like I said, who are you? You know, people are still searching. Sometimes it seems forever for people to find themselves, and sometimes people never find themselves because they don't put in the effort and the work of really trying to find who they really are. Because if sometimes, let's just say for instance, you know, if a person didn't know who they was, or you know, it can be sometimes as simple as a person not having a mother and father in their life, and then, you know, their life just kind of spirals out of control before they know it, because they're using different things to try to fill this void in their lives. And or maybe it's some love they didn't get somewhere, you know, maybe they lost somebody, and you know, they're trying to fill the void with substance abuse, alcohol, and drugs. And instead of, you know, just trusting in God, you know, they trying to find an easy way out, something that can make it happen right then. And I mean, like I said, all these things tie in together because first and foremost, I don't care what nobody say. Um, it starts at home. People need to know that they're loved and they're cherished and they are somebody, and you know, just be lifted up at home. That's where it starts. It starts at home. I know y'all heard that a million times, but it's true. Who don't want to hear, you know, from their parents that I love you and you are a good daughter, you're a good son, you know, you're a good grandson, a good granddaughter. Who don't want to hear that from the people that they love? If some, I mean, it starts as simple as you reaching out your arms and wrapping your arms around somebody and telling them that hey, how you doing? It's nice to see you, or a goodbye hug, or hello hug, or I love you hug. I'm a hugger all day, you know. And like I said, people, they will call you all types of names and say you're not this, but I'm just not that friendly with people that I'm just gonna hug them if I don't mean the hug. If I'm not serious about what I'm doing, I know that this stuff counts. This something as simple as a hug, don't you know, could make a person day, could give that person hope to fight another day. It could bring out things in them they didn't even know that they were capable. It could bring out emotions in them, and if that hug could feel so good, and they could be like, you know, they could normally have been saying, I'm not a hugging type person, but that hug could have been so good that they were like, okay, I kind of like this, you know. And then the next time, it just so happens if somebody else, they be in a situation and they just feel compelled to hug a person to console them, that could be the start of finding out who you are, because sometimes you don't know. You can be raised up in a household with people that don't like hugs, they don't say they love each other, and that's just by you being raised up around it, you'll become accustomed to it, you know, because you never had that chance to experience it for yourself to see if you like it or not. And that's definitely a situation in my family. When I was growing up, I was the hugger, you know what I'm saying? I was the person that said, hey, and I love you, but my mother wasn't a hugger. My grandmother wasn't a hugger, you know. Nobody really liked to hug in my family because nobody hugged each other. Nobody hugged each other. But I was the one that was the hugger, and you know, just the loving type. And just imagine, you know, how hard that, you know, was on me, because that was something that was me, you know, that was me, but it wasn't them, and I wasn't surrounded by that, but I was able to do that with people that were like myself. And, eventually, it came to a point where I was like, hey, this is me. You know what I'm saying? When you see me, expect a hug. When you see me, expect a little smack on the cheek. Like my dad used to say, a little smack on the cheek. Expect that. Expect a nice, warm, and welcome when you see me, because that's me. And that's just a little bit of knowing who you are. Don't just do what other people do. Just see who you are. Just try some things. But, I'm holding on for y'all. I'm not going to lie, I'm really tired, but I'm holding on for y'all because I'm speaking this for somebody. This is for somebody. I don't know who it's for, but I'm here. I'm going to stay up and I'm going to talk because I got a lot of stuff in my head. And, I just aim to help somebody. Like I said, I don't want to be so repetitive with my words, but I have been through so much. I've been through a whole lot. And I ain't number 33 years old, but I've been through a whole lot. And I'm still going through stuff, And I take a lot of losses too because I care about people so much. And that's just something that the world ain't full of. It's not full of people that truly care about others. And I take a lot. I take a lot of losses because of it. I just, took one today and actually been taking one for about a year now because it's a person that I really genuinely care about. I care about the well-being and everything. But when a person, doesn't know themselves and they haven't found themselves yet, it's just not something that they can reciprocate with you. You all won't be on the same level when it comes to things like that. And like I said, I take a lot of verbal abuse, but I'm strong enough. I'm human too. I'm not a robot. I'm not any of that. I'm human too. I hear things go in. I either react or I don't react to them, and I just have to keep on going. I can't let a person get by me without saying what it is that God has put in me to say to them, because God give me a lot of stuff. When I tell you God give me a lot of stuff, when I get around people, it's like I can sense, what's going on and what they need. I'm not God at all. I'm not trying to play God. But God, I have a discerning spirit. I do. I have a discerning spirit to know. So I just use what he has. When he presents me with people, I go, I go. I don't go in head first real quick because sometimes that could spook a person. But I just tell them simply where I'm coming from and, who's giving it to me. I pretty much go out people's vibes. But knowing your self-worth, to sum all of this up, knowing your self-worth, knowing who you are is so vital to your life. If you don't know this information, please do some soul searching for real, because it's going to determine your success in life, what you'll do, things like that. And I got so much coming right now. I can't even do it. I gotta save for another video tomorrow. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just, if you haven't found who you are, take all these things in consideration that I have shared with you all today, or on tonight rather. Take those things in consideration and just sit and think to yourself. Ask yourself that question. If you've never asked yourself that question, ask yourself, who am I? And sit down and think about it for a minute. And whatever comes to your mind, take all of that into consideration. Self-worth would be the question number 2, because those two things coincide with each other. Remember, keep God in the middle of everything that you do. God needs to be at the head of your life, whatever you're doing, period. Like, it ain't no get around that. You got to keep God first. And asking yourself who you are. If you have to write things down, if you have to write that question down, that's homework, okay? write the question down, who am I, and answer it, whether it be a one word answer or a 2 paragraph answer. Answer the question, look at the answers, and if they look like puzzle pieces, then put them together. And then a lot of things about your life will make more and more sense. Trust me. But take my advice and do this. And when you do this, give me your comments. And I just accept nothing but positive comments. If you're gonna put something negative over here, it's gonna be deleted. You're gonna be blocked. Period. Not that I don't tolerate. Not when it comes to people's lives and people's emotions, and just people's well-beings. Period. The second question I want you to write down: what am I worth? And do the same thing. Answer it. Analyze your answers. I'm sorry. And if they look like puzzle pieces that need to be put together, put them together. And just sit back and reflect on your life. Reflecting on your life can be a good thing. It could be a cleansing thing. It might not be the best all the time. And sometimes you really do need to reflect on your life to figure out which direction you want to go in next. So do that. Do your homework. I will be back on tomorrow to check in with you guys. I got something for you tomorrow. All right. Love you guys. Y'all be good. Good night rest. Mwah.